Hi guys, welcome to Vesna TV. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today I'm sharing with you some new Christmas DIYs. These are kind of looks for less that I found on Pottery Barn and I recreated using mostly dollar store or Dollar Tree products. Today's theme are pillows, and I'm starting with a candy cane pillow. Now I found this one, like I said, at Pottery Barn, and it is being sold for 84 American dollars. So I'm in Canada, so that's even quite a bit more in Canadian. And I thought I could recreate it, at least the look of it, with some Dollar Tree items. Now, I started off with a candy cane shaped wreath that I had from the Dollar Tree, and I just removed the bow from it, but I kept everything else on it because I thought it would kind of hide the metal part of it a little bit better and provide a little bit of cushioning. These are decorative pillows, so they wouldn't be pillows that you lay on. If you wanted this to be a pillow to lay on, you could just use this shape to cut out the material and then sew it on. I wanted to do a tutorial without sewing just because I find that a lot of people may not have a sewing machine or may not have sewing skills. My sewing skills aren't very good. I usually get quite frustrated when I try to do some sewing. So I thought this would be a better alternative. So what I did was I wrapped this around. Now I folded my tree skirt, which is what I'm using as my white material. You could also use which I will use in one of my other decorative pillows, the the rags that they have in the car section at the Dollar Tree. They're very soft and they're perfect for pillowcases. But for this one, I wanted to use the tree skirt, like tree skirt covered kind of things that they have, tree blankets that they have at the Dollar Tree. And they're white and they're kind of like a felt material. So what I did was I folded it over because it's quite thin. So that way you wouldn't see the stuff showing through, and it would provide a little bit more cushion so you wouldn't know that it's actually a candy cane form in there. And so what I did was I cut out my shape, I wrapped it around, and then I wrapped it around one more time, and I hot glued everything together. I added a little bit of pillow filling that I had from a pillow from the Dollar Tree that the cover was looking kind of rough, so I cut it open and I just used the stuffing on the inside, and I just gently stuffed this one just in the crevices and in between before I did the second layer of fabric, and it's just to provide a little bit of cushion so it does look more like a pillow rather than metal covered in fabric. So after I wrapped everything up twice and glued it and stuffed it, what I did was I wound up wrapping some, well, I was going to start with this red ribbon that you can see here around the candy cane so it looks like a candy cane, but I didn't like how inflexible the ribbon was, so it was kind of hard. So I switched over to some burlap. The burlap I bought at the Dollar Tree. I think it was Dollar Tree. It could have been Dollarama. Dollarama in Canada is kind of probably like your Dollar General. It's usually not many things are a buck, like a dollar. They're usually $2 to $3. So I bought a roll of red ribbon a while back, and I had some left over. So I wound up using that. I wound up hot gluing little strips. I just made sure that they went around the whole thing, and I found that was a little bit more flexible and a little bit more forgiving, and I just thought it looked a little bit better on the candy cane than this ribbon. So play around with what you want to use. I did go later on after I finished these projects. I went to the Dollar Tree just to see, because our Dollar Tree here sometimes has items from Halloween that are 50% off. So I wanted to pick some things up, but they were all gone. But I did notice that they had a lot of different shawls and scarves and socks that are like that fuzzy material that you could use on the candy cane too. So just kind of see what your Dollar Tree has and see what you can use. Or if you have something at home that you want to use, you could use felt too. Anyway, so this is what I did for this one. So I just kind of wrapped it like a candy cane in little strips. And it was super easy to make and very inexpensive. I mean, the cheese skirt was a buck 50, and the strips, I mean, I only used a few, but let's say you had to get a whole new ribbon, so about $2, buck 50, $2. And the stuffing, whatever, if you bought a pillow at the dollar store, then it would just be a buck 50 too. So not a whole lot of money at all, and I think it looks cute. It's a very, very cute decorative pillow, just adds a little pop of color and a pop of Christmas to your Christmas decor. So let me know if you think I nailed the look or if you think it was a complete flop. But for, under $5 versus $85, I think I did pretty good. So the next pillow that I recreated was this Joy pillow. Now, mine is slightly different. I didn't use a horizontal pillow. I used just a normal square pillow. I didn't use a rectangle pillow, but you could use any kind. I had this one that's kind of already Christmas on one side, so I thought I'd make it a double-sided pillow. This I picked up at the dollar store as well, and this was like super easy to make. So I had some leftover vintage ribbon and I had leftover fabrics, so I just used those to create my joy sign, to create my joy letters. You could use really anything you wanted to. The Dollar Tree has a ton of different ribbons and fabrics for Christmas, and even those shawls that I was talking about that they have like the thin kind of silky shawls that are all sorts of different patterns on them, so you could use any of those. Or if you had a cricket, you could also use vinyl. They do have, I've seen at Dollar Tree, like kind of like a plaid checkered vinyl, so you could use some of those. I don't know if they have a Christmas vinyl, but I'm sure you can pick some up somewhere. And like the HTV, or actually, yeah, if you wanted HTV, Dollar Tree doesn't have it. But if you had some leftover, all sorts of different colors, you could use your Cricut to cut those ones out as well. I also used one of these elf feet, and because I liked the color of the fabric on the legs, so I just cut that out and I used that as my Y. And because I have several of these feet, I bought them last year. I must have had an idea for a project, but then didn't get to it. So I just wound up using those. Hopefully I won't need it, and if I do, then it is okay. I have another one. And I just hot glued these to the pillow, made sure that they were the same size, cut them out by hand. You could use your Cricut for sure, but or any other device that you have, these were easy to do by hand. So I just did them, and I think they turned out really cute. And again, for the cost savings, like the pillow itself was quite expensive, just even for the pillowcase. So this is quite a bit of a savings, even if you were to get a rectangle pillow that wasn't from the dollar store, from Walmart or something, they're probably 5, $6. So still a significant savings to the Pottery Barn one. And I think I nailed the look. You let me know what you think, whether you think that I nailed this look or not, but I'm pretty confident that I did nail the look. So here's the finished look. Let me know what you think of this one. I really like this one. I think it turned out really cute, and that little pop of color with the joy looks fabulous. Again, let me know if you think I nailed it or if I am way out to lunch and it looks nothing like the original. So then for the very last pillow recreation, I was trying to recreate this snowman. This is a super cute pillow. Now, the way I recreated mine, definitely for less than $80, but I recreated it to be very much just a decorative pillow versus a snuggly pillow that you can kind of lay on because of the materials I used. Now, if you are skilled at sewing or able to find, even a pumpkin shaped or round pillow that you had or laying around or at the dollar store or anywhere else, you could recreate this still for less. But because I sometimes get frustrated with my sewing machine, I decided to show you a way to do it where you don't have to sew. So I start off by using these Dollar Tree rags that I talked about at the beginning of the video from the car section. They're very, very soft and kind of snuggly. And then I'm using a styrofoam pumpkin from the Dollar Tree and just a little ball from the Dollar Tree to make the shape of my snowman. So that way it's a little bit easier for me to shape it rather than trying to stuff, form the shape without having something to help me form it. And that's why I said it's not more of a pillow that you can lay on, because it's not as soft as the other pillows, but it's definitely a cute little decorative pillow. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of playing around with it, trying to see what would work best, because I do want to add some stuffing to it so it is a little bit softer, so it's not super hard. But so I'm trying to figure out a way that it's easier to do it um, without hot gluing first. And so I just kind of see how much stuffing I want to use around, and then I wrap my pumpkin in the rag to see how it would work, and I just kind of fidget around with it and hot glue it as I go to make it look as nice as and round as I can. So I did do the same thing with the smaller one. This one was a little bit easier. It's a little bit of a softer ball, so it was a little bit easier to kind of mold it to what I needed it to be. But again, I wrapped it up trying to see how it would make it look the cleanest and the best. Now, this one I was able to kind of wrap around twice. If you wanted to not use the stuffing, and you're using a something that was a color other than white, so like I used the orange, but because I put the stuffing in it, the orange didn't show through. But if you do have something that's a different color and you're not putting stuffing or double wrapping it, I suggest that you paint that thing white or the color of your rag if it's see-through. Just like, especially these ones, they are thicker, but they're still kind of see-through. So if you are concerned about that, or you could even wrap it in something white beforehand and then wrap it in this. So just to give you a little pointer. Now, I wasn't too worried about the one side not being clean because they are being stacked one on top of the other. And what I did wind up doing as well is I put one of those barbecue skewers in the middle of it, from the bottom, so that would kind of hold the pieces together while the hot glue was sticking to it. It might even be a better idea now, kind of going back and having worked with it, is to maybe put the skewer in, like hot glue the two pieces into a snowman shape first, then put the skewer in and maybe even like use some E6000 and then let it sit for a little bit and then wrap it around. I was just afraid of doing that because I was afraid I would just rip it apart, because you see how much I'm fidgeting around with it. So kind of see what works for you and how you can make it. And it depends on what you're going to be doing with it. Mine's just going to be probably sitting on the fireplace, so it's not going to be thrown around or anything like that, so it'll be fine. But if you think that yours will be thrown around, so it might be a good idea to connect the two pieces somehow, more not permanently, but with something a little bit more substantial than hot glue. And I did add a nice little scarf around this guy. The scarf, I just used red ribbon. You could use, like I mentioned in the other parts of the video, you could use anything. Even the socks would work because they have some nice fuzzy Christmas socks. So you could use the socks, but I had this ribbon from other projects, so I just used the ribbon for his scarf, and I just wrapped it around, and I made a little bow, and then I also put a little bit of stuffing around his neck and kind of shoved it into the scarf, like just in behind the scarf. And then I went ahead and I made a hat, and I did his eyes and his nose, his mouth, and his buttons. Now, for the hat, I had these little styrofoam bells. So I used one of the bells which is going to be the top of my hat. And then I also used a lid from a jar. So you could be any kind of jar or any kind of circle thing that you have. You could even cut it out of cardboard. I just wanted to use my little lid. And I hot glued those two together, and then I wrapped this leftover black fabric around it. You could also spray paint it. You don't have to wrap the fabric around it. I just wanted to do it this way. And again, using lots of hot glue and to get the look that I wanted of the hat. So once I had everything wrapped and hot glued together, I just hot glued it to the top of the snowman, held it down a little bit so that it would stick. And then I thought about using foam, little foam for the eyes and the nose and the buttons. But then I remembered I had these little beads from the Dollar Tree that were already painted black, and they were different shapes, so I was able to use some bigger ones and some smaller ones. So again, you can use pretty much anything you want. You could even use buttons if you have buttons. I just didn't have buttons. And what I also did was, because these beads had little holes for you to thread things through, I just filled it in with a little bit of hot glue, and then I wanted kind of taking off the excess that kind of bulged through. And I thought I would fill it in with Sharpie, but I didn't need to, just so that it would look even better. And so here he is, all finished, hanging out on my couch. Let me know if you think I nailed this one, if I got the look for less, or if it was a total flop. It really, I mean, I think I nailed it, but let me know what you think. So he is very cute too, and I have a little clip of all of them together. He was a lot more inexpensive than the one from Pottery Barn. So here they all are, all together as a little vignette on my couch. And again, I think they're all very, very cute. And I do think that I nailed the look. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and there'll be more to come. And let me know what you thought of them. Let me know what else you'd like to see, if there's anything that you guys would like me to recreate. And have a great day. Stay safe, and make sure you like and subscribe.